Addod Solutions. Add-on desired.
Hello viewers, welcome to Addod Solution Daily Current Affairs. I'm Lokesh Penugonda. This session is mainly designed for aspirants preparing for banking, groups and such other competitive examinations. We cover news articles from both the Hindu and the Indian Express. Make a use of this. So first we have an article where it is stated that the Union government has announced that it will provide 5 kgs of food grains to nearly 80 crore beneficiaries under the Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Anna Yojana. The government has stated that as the states are bringing curfews and there is increasing number of COVID cases in the country, there is a need to support the common man, and for this reason we are bringing this 5 kgs free food grains for the 80 crore beneficiaries. And it is also stated that this scheme will cost the exchequer or the government 26,000 crores. As we are talking about the Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Anna Yojana, we should know when it was started. It was started in the year 2020 when the COVID pandemic has struck the country. And in this article, we can also see that the Serum Institute of India, which produces the COVID-19 vaccine called as the Covishield in India, gave the pricing for each dose of this COVID vaccine it produces. It stated that for one dose, it will charge 150 to 200 rupees if this is being sold to the central government. And one dose will be charged 400 rupees if it is sent or sold to the states. And for private entities, it will be 600 rupees a dose. So what we can observe here is, though the vaccine is same and the vaccine maker is same, but the pricing is different, and the state governments are not agreeing with this differential pricing relating to the COVID vaccine. Next, we have an article dealing with the topic Panchayati Raj. Panchayati Raj or the Panchayati Raj institution is a system of rural, local self-government. So, in this system, the grassroots leaders will be directly elected by the people and they will serve the people. So, this system got the constitutional backing through the 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act of 1992. And we should see the important features of the Panchayati Raj institution which got the backing in the year 1992. So, it is stated that the Panchayati Raj institution setup will be a three-tier body. That is, it will have 3 tiers of government at the local level. That is, one at the Panchayati level, one at the intermediate level, which may be the mandal level or at the block level, one at the district level. So, for the Panchayati level, which is the lowest tier, the representatives will be directly elected by the people. And for these other 2 tiers, it may be directly or indirectly elected. This is one provision, and also you should note that this 3-tier body is mandated for the states which have a population of more than 20 lakh. So, if you have a state which has less than 20 lakh population, then you would only require 2-tier body. So, this is one important provision brought by this constitutional amendment. Next is 1/3 seats which are filled through these Panchayati Raj institutions would be given to women. So, women would be given 1/3 seats as reservation, and also reservation would also be given to people from the scheduled castes and people from the scheduled tribes. And it gave the option to the state governments that you can also give reservation to the BCs. That is, for SCs and STs, the reservation in these bodies is mandatory. Whereas, if the state governments require, they might even give reservation to people belonging to the OBCs. And we have one more provision, which is the setting up of State Election Commission and State Finance Commission. We know that there is an Election Commission of India, and this Election Commission of India only provides or only does the work for the election of the President, Vice President, MPs and MLAs. So, the Election Commission of India will not be responsible for the conduction of Panchayati Raj elections. So, for this reason, state election commissions would be set up in every state, and these bodies will be responsible for conduction of the election to the Panchayati Raj institutions. And also, this Constitutional Amendment Act has brought the State Finance Commission. We know that there will be a Finance Commission at the union level which will explain or which will recommend to the government the basis for the sharing of the revenue of the central government. That is, we have seen that the 15th Finance Commission has asked the union government to spend or to provide 41% of its revenue to the states. So what we see here is the Finance Commission is recommending the union government on the basis or the proportion of taxes that have to be shared between the center and the states. Whereas the State Finance Commission, which will be set up, will deal with the sharing of resources between the state government and the Panchayati Raj institutions. These are the various functions, various provisions brought by this constitutional amendment. And you should also know that for the first time ever in the year 1957, the Balwant Rai Mehta Committee has recommended the setting up of this Panchayati Raj institutions. So, it was first ever recommended in the year 1957, and Rajasthan became the first ever state to start the Panchayati Raj system. It started the system in the year 1959. So, these are various relevant topics that you need to remember when it comes to Panchayati Raj institutions. Next, we have an article dealing with the border road organization. You can see the image of the border roads organization. So, what is the border roads organization? Border road organization was set up in the year 1960 by the Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru led government. The main purpose of setting up this BRO was to increase the construction of roads in the north and northeast parts of the country, as the connectivity and infrastructure in the north and northeast of the parts of the country was very less in the year 1960 and before. The Jawaharlal Nehru led government has set up this border road organization, and this BRO comes under the administrative control of the Ministry of Defense. The main function of the BRO is not only setting up or construction of roads, helipads and airfields, but also the maintenance of all these. And the headquarters of the BRO is in New Delhi. This is the relevant information regarding the border roads organization. And as we are talking about the border road organization, we should also know about various tunnels which are connecting various parts of the country and parts of country to other parts of the country. So we have passes which link one place to the other place. First, we have something called as Banihal Pass. This Banihal Pass connects the Kashmir Valley with the outer Himalaya and the plains of the south. And we have a pass called as the Baralachala Pass, and this Baralachala Pass connects the Lahore district of the Himachal Pradesh with the Leh district of the Ladakh Union Territory. Next we have Fotula Pass. Fotula Pass. This connects the Leh with Kargil of the Ladakh Union Territory. And we have something called as the Rohtang Pass. It connects the Kullu Valley with the Lahore and Spiti valleys, all part of the Himachal Pradesh state. We have the Shipkila Pass. This connects the Kinnaur district of Himachal Pradesh with Tibet, which is a part of China. So, Shipkila Pass is an international pass. You can see here, it connects India with Tibet. Next is Jelepla Pass. It connects Sikkim with Tibet. Next, we have the Nathula Pass. Even this connects the state of Sikkim with Tibet. Next is Lipu Lake Pass. This is in the tri-junction of Uttarakhand, Nepal and China. Next is the Khardungla Pass. It connects the Ladakh with Siachen Glacier. It is the highest motorable pass in the world. Next, we have the Bomdila. This is in the state of Arunachal Pradesh. So, we have 4 passes which connects India with other countries, and we have one pass which is the highest motorable road. That means this is the highest altitude in which you can use automobiles, that is cars, vehicles or any other vehicles. Next, we have an article dealing with NHRC. NHRC stands for National Human Rights Commission. It is an independent statutory body, set up in the year 1993. Set up in the year 1993 through the Protection of Human Rights Act. This body or the organization works as the watchdog of human rights. It acts as watchdog of human rights in the country. The main objective of setting up of this organization is that India wants to conform to the Paris Principles of 1991. So, what are the Paris Principles of 1991? So, these are the principles which want to promote and protect the human rights of the world, human rights of the people in the entire world. And these Paris Principles was also endorsed by the United Nations General Assembly in the year 1993. So, for this reason, India also started this independent statutory body called as the NHRC, and it's headquartered in New Delhi. Next, we have an article dealing with ways and means credit. So, what do you mean by ways and means credit or advances? These are the temporary loans. Temporary loans given by RBI to central government and the state governments. So, what is the main reason for providing these temporary loans by the RBI? These loans are provided so that these governments can get over with the liquidity mismatch. Liquidity mismatches. So, let's say that there is a state government called Madhya Pradesh, and the Madhya Pradesh state government has thought or is expected that in the month of May, we will be getting 1000 crores revenue, and in the month of May we will be spending 900 crore money. So, it thought that it will get 1000 crores, and of the 1000 crores, it will be spending 900 crores. But due to some reasons, there is a mismatch in the revenue and the expenditure, and it might get only 800 crores in the month of May. But it have to expend, or it have to spend 900 crore. So there is a 100 crore gap between the revenue and the expenditure. So what the RBI will do is, it will provide this 100 crore for temporary period, that is within 45 days this loan have to be repaid back to the RBI, and also RBI charges an interest on this loan, and this interest will be based on the repo rate. So what is the repo rate? Repo rate is the rate at which the RBI lends money to the banks. So this is the same rate for which the states or the central government will also be provided loans by the RBI. It is only for temporary period. Next we have an article where it is stated Mr. Sachin has won India a gold medal in the World Youth Boxing Championship. So we have seen yesterday that 7 Indian women athletes have won gold medals in the World Youth Boxing Championship, and now the athlete Sachin became the first ever male athlete to win the World Youth Boxing Championship in the year 2021. And also you should note that this boxing championship is being held in a city called as Kielce, and this is a city in the country of Poland whose capital is Warsaw. Next we have an article where it is stated that the DGCI, or the Directorate or the Drug Controller General of India, has approved emergency usage of a drug called as Virafin. So the DGCI has approved the usage of drug called as Virafin for COVID cases. So if you have any COVID patients who are suffering from mild or moderate COVID, then it is approved, this is approved to be used on them. So what is the Virafin drug? What is it mainly used for? This is mainly used for hepatitis. So if a person is suffering from hepatitis, this Virafin drug is generally used, whereas the same drug is being accepted or approved to be used for mild to COVID cases in the country. And what is a hepatitis? It is a viral infection. This mainly affects the lung of a person. Next we have an article where it is stated the country Britain in its parliament has declared that in the China Xinjiang province there is a genocide. So where is the Xinjiang province? You can see in this image that Xinjiang is the northwestern province of the country China. And what is the genocide? This parliament or this article mainly talking about, there are persons called as Uyghurs. Uyghurs are a Turkish ethnic group. And they are more culturally related to the Central Asia and West Asia, and they are mostly belonging to the religion of Islam, whereas the country China has a major population of Han Chinese. So what we witnessed is that the Chinese government is repressing these Uyghur Muslims, and thousands and lakhs of Uyghur Muslims are sent to the detention camps. And you can see in this image that many Uyghurs are being sent to the detention camps. So the Britain Parliament has saw this and it has approved the usage of the genocide for this human rights violation, whereas the country China says that they are not detention centers but rather educational centers. This is regarding this article. Next, we have an article where the country Denmark is asking the Syrian refugees to go back to their own country, as it is stating that many parts of Syria are now safe. When there is a civil uprising in the country of Syria, which you can see in this image, thousands and millions of people of Syria went to other countries, and even they went abroad and taken refugees in countries such as Denmark, Netherlands and Belgium. So this happened few years back. So what the Denmark government is asking is, as the country Syria is safer now compared to the earlier period, it is asking those refugees who have come from Syria and settled in Denmark to go back. And this is seen as a human right violation, because the country Syria is still undergoing the civil war, and you cannot expect 100% safety to the person who is going back from country Denmark to Syria. So this is relating to this article. Next, as we are talking about the country Denmark, you should note that this is neighboring the seas of Baltic Sea and the North Sea, and its capital is Copenhagen, whereas Syria's capital is Damascus. Next, we have an article where we can see that the Britain Parliament has asked for apologies, as it was stated that nearly 50,000 Indians who have died fighting for the Britain in the World War I were not buried and were not honored in a similar way it has honored its own citizens. So why were some Indians fighting for Britain in the World War I? Because the World War I happened in the year 1919, and in that particular year India was still a colony of Britain. So Britain has used some of its Indian soldiers to fight its war, and in this war nearly 50,000 people have lost their lives. So the 50,000 people who lost their lives have their origins from the present country of India and Pakistan, because in the year 1919 there was no demarcation between these two countries. And a recent report by the committee which was set up by the Britain government has found out that the 50,000 Indians who have died fighting for the Britain were not honored in the same way it has honored its own Britain soldiers or Britain citizens. So for this reason, the Britain government is asking for apologies from Indians and the Indian government. With this, we have come to the end of this session. Inform about Addod's initiative to your other aspirant friends. Thank you.
Addod Solutions. Add-on Desires.